What's going on, everybody? It's the Indoor Hunter, and today we're going to be talking about multiplayer ethics and etiquette. Now, obviously, there are no hard and fast rules when it comes to playing on a public multiplayer server in the Hunter Call of the Wild. That said, there are some things that I personally like to do just to kind of keep the peace and or not get kicked. First example is, you can see we've got a pretty full Silver Ridge Peaks map, and everybody's kind of in their own little areas, and, well, that's exactly what I'm planning on sticking to. Now, that said, how I would operate typically, unless, everybody moves around, I don't want to get probably within 500 meters of anybody, because you're then going to be spooking the animals that they're hunting, and it's just the nice thing to do. We've got a huge chunk of the map all to ourselves here. I don't know if we're even going to be able to explore all that in the time that we have, maybe, but I'm going to be checking every little nook and corner for something cool. Then again, if I don't see really anything in a short period of time, it allows me to quickly go on to the next server and just keep on hopping until we find something good. But my first and biggest rule is keeping space between really anybody. That said, if I'm server host though, I'm gonna kick you if you get real close, unless I know you we're doing something special. But that's one of those things I don't understand, is other people that don't understand people's personal space, they will kind of run up on you. And the most egregious thing, of course, is an ATV, but we'll get to that later. Speaking of ATVs in multiplayer, it's taken me about 10 real life minutes to get from where we were to about here. Then again, I wasn't a straight shot. I've been checking every single track I could. That said, I typically, unless it's somebody's server that I actually know, or there's a really good circumstance, I'm never going to jump on an ATV. Not only is it going to ruin your chances at your hunt, but it's pretty frowned upon. Those things have a spook distance of 500 meters, which is huge. Just to put that in perspective, that's about right there from me. You can see it's a huge swath, and you may not be paying attention. If this guy were to jump on a four-wheeler and just come to this lake, he would actually spook some of the animals in my area, and it would just not be very cool. So I typically avoid it. Now, then again, let's say, for example, I really wanted to get to this lake. There was something there that I knew was drinking, and it was about to be their drink time. I might risk it for the biscuit and jump on a four-wheeler to get over there as quickly as possible, if I knew for a fact that I wasn't going to ruin anyone else's hunt. Why you kick me, bro? That's kind of the next thing I want to talk about. That's something I don't understand. I've noticed, this is mostly at higher level players that are in the lobby. The second you join a multiplayer server, you immediately get kicked. I'm not talking about desynchronizing or timing out or just failing to connect. I'm talking about straight up getting kicked. I don't understand this. Someone in the comments, please do. And we're going to talk a little bit about what I would do whenever, if I'm going to kick somebody or why. But for simply joining the server, there's no purpose behind that. They say don't mistake ignorance for malice. Maybe a lot of people don't realize that when they create a multiplayer server, they can actually make it private for just their friends. They can even limit the number of people that are in a server. But some of it is a little malicious. I don't know if someone has a complex and just assumes they can hunt the entire map by themselves. If they can, I wish I had that kind of time, but for the most part, these maps are huge. There is more than enough space for everybody to hunt. I understand somebody may be hunting your favorite lake, but maybe they don't have as much experience as you, and I don't know how many times I have played multiplayer and ended up as multiplayer host just to be able to kind of get control of it, and then, you can eventually hunt the lakes that you want. I don't understand that. Maybe it has something to do with the weird trend of trading in this game. That's something that I will never understand. In my opinion, trading, no offense to those of you that may be involved with this, it seems kind of like you're buying a Super Bowl ring and then going around telling everybody that you won the Super Bowl. It just blows my mind, makes no sense. It's kind of gross in my opinion. I don't like it. Not a good look. And yeah, so I don't know if that's what's going on there with that. Maybe that's why people are getting kicked all the time. But then again, if you're going to be doing that, do that in a private lobby. So I just don't get it. Now, let's talk about reasons that if I were server host, why I would kick you. Again, going back to the ATVs, if, I'm going to this lake and I see you cruising up at Mock Jesus on an ATV, I'm going to kick you. And Not gonna feel bad about it. Same thing. Oh my goodness. Here we are. Talking about multiplayer ethics, and we've got a 5 medium mountain goat. Unfortunately, we made a terrible shot on it. Using the 6.5, which honestly is not the best gun in the world. I picked it because I was like, I've not used this in a while, and let's try it out, but we'll go and try to maneuver on him. Well, here he is. Somehow shot him in the butt. Luckily for us, he is not a diamond, so that makes me feel better. Let's get back to the topic of the video. Now, where was I? Talking about kicking people and how it's kind of silly. It doesn't make any sense to me unless you're trading. Well, that doesn't make any more sense to me, but, you know, where were we? Oh, yeah, why I would kick you. So, obviously, you know, ATV, cruising in, mock Jesus, I would kick you. If there was a circumstance where, like that, there was a diamond potential animal that I was after, and then all of a sudden, you know, you tried to do something weird about it, I'd probably kick you, not gonna lie. I understand multiplayer, it's fair game, and I've seen some comments in the past that, well, you should have shot first, but, you know, if I'm in control, I'm in control, you know. So, again, going back to rule number 1, don't get in people's personal space. That's the bottom line. That's the rule I try to follow. I noticed this guy is mountain climbing here. We're going to go the opposite direction. He's probably after some mountain goat, but again, I'm doing the ethical thing. I kind of wanted to hunt up here for more mountain goats, but hey, he made it there first. He has won the day as far as that goes, so no hard feelings. We're going to go the opposite direction. There are plenty of stuff to hunt here, so another good rule of thumb too, and this is just good multiplayer practice in general. If you guys watch my live stream, you'll notice I'm constantly checking the score screen, and it's not necessarily because I'm checking session score. I'm actually checking to see who is server host, and anytime somebody leaves, I'm just making sure that I didn't get it, because I don't know how many times I've gotten to a server and it's dark. And it may be a map that there's nothing really going on at nighttime, and obviously you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of hunting at night, and I'm like, why are they not changing time? And lo and behold, it'll be some sort of, you know, level 10 person that may not actually know they can change time, or somebody may not actually know that they're the server host. And so that's one of those things. It's super minor, but kind of check, make sure you're not host. That way if it's dark, you can change that. When it comes to shooting stuff in multiplayer, I'm going to attempt to shoot this guy with the 6.5. We need to make a hard shot in order for it to work out. And unfortunately we missed because it's the 6.5. That dude's going to be running forever. I digress. I don't want to try to add too much unnecessary hunting pressure, especially if I know that the actual server owner is in the lobby, because I don't want to ruin their map for them. And looking and just the way it feels, I'm going to assume the person that's host of the server is in fact the owner of the map, just because they've been in here for so long, and they've been pretty consistent with their harvests. I don't know that for a fact, but that's kind of a good thing to look out for. Typically, whenever you see a bunch of people leave, you know, and you keep seeing that server host change, that map is now technically ghosted, so in that case, it's a little bit more of a gray area. Now, if you're not server host and somebody sees you just eliminating entire herds, they may still kick you. I myself personally wouldn't kick anybody for that, because, I mean, it's a hunting game. You're supposed to shoot stuff, and that's kind of the point of it. But, you know, it's something to watch out for, especially those of you that like to hunt Yukon and the wolves are broken, you happen to come across a herd of 10 or 15. You know, somebody may see you adding all that hunting pressure and want to kick you for it. Again, I personally wouldn't do that, but there are those people out there that will absolutely boot you for doing what the game was made to do. But yeah, kind of talking about that. That's one of those things to look out for. If you notice the service host hasn't changed in the past hour that you've been in the lobby, that's probably the owner of the map, and you want to be kind for them because they allowed you the opportunity to hunt their map and potentially poach some diamonds or rares. But again, if the server host is constantly changing, it's probably nobody's map, and that for me is a green light to just start opening up on stuff. think that's just about all we've got for this one. One last thing, I would like to kind of thank everybody that does actually put their multiplayer servers as a public lobby, allowing people like myself to actually hunt them, have fun. It makes Call of the Wild way more enjoyable, it keeps it fun, and I just wanted to say you guys are the true MVPs. Thank you for that. Without that, I mean, we'd be stuck on our own maps, and it just wouldn't be that fun, because then we gotta let RNG really take its course, and yeah, that wouldn't be that much fun. That said, if you guys have some sort of multiplayer etiquette or thing that kind of grinds your gear, or something that you do to try to avoid any sort of drama in multiplayer, drop it in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the next one.